Hey guys, I decided to make another video to show you some merching tips. So make sure you watch the whole video and you should be able to learn a few things. I'm sure most of you know I tried my luck at starting my own merching clan and it didn't really work out. Well, it started off great and I managed to organise a whole team of good advertisers. However, I had to leave for the weekend, so I left my friend in charge. And when I came back, the clan chat name was changed to Dump for Men. So lots of people lost money, including me. I still have all my sapphires, so I think I'm just going to hold them until they rise a little more. So I'm sorry for anyone who lost money, but I lost money too, and I really didn't intend to scam anyone. So I thought I'd make this video for you guys, and since I'm not starting my own clan anymore, I thought I'd show you how you can use other merchant clans to your advantage. So over the past year, I've been merching with some of Runescape's biggest merchant clans, so I'd say I was pretty experienced with it now. However, I have learned most of these things the hard way, which means I've lost money or been stuck with horrible items. So I'm going to be showing you the best tricks to merchant with clans, hopefully without the risks. I decided to split this guide into parts, and part 1 of it is going to be about choosing an item. So first of all, when a merchant clan chooses an item, the ranks will usually always be buying the item first before the actual unranked members are announced. And sometimes there are actual private merch clans buying it before the ranks. Now what you could actually do is predict the items the clan will pick before they actually announce it publicly, and I've done this several times, but it is hard and risky. Now most merchant clans use common items and they usually circulate around the same ones, and these include bunyip pouches, grack pouches, yew seeds, pineapple seeds, palm seeds and herb seeds. Now if you see an unpredicted rise of any of these items, it is most likely going to be a merchant clan. So when you see the item rise, you can do a quick test of buying 100 or 10 and see if they're currently bought out. Note that bought out is the term used to describe an item which is so in demand, meaning there are so many people buying it that you can't get any. So since it's only private merch clans or the leaders buying the item before the clan, you have a much better chance of getting some of the item. Now be careful when you're doing this, because I have made a horrible mistake in the past in thinking that dragon bones were being bought out by a clan because I couldn't get any at maximum price, so I decided to put an offer in for 50k dragon bolts, and when I logged on the next day they had all bought and they had all dropped a lot, so I managed to lose around 20 to 30 mil in a single day just due to a stupid mistake. But it has on the other hand worked extremely well with other items. For example, I was able to buy 300 yew seeds before the actual clan started buying it, and I was able to then sell them for a lot of profit. Okay, part 2 of this guide is the public clan. After the item is announced to the clan, it's usually put in the clan chat title, and once this is announced you basically have no chance of getting any. So let's take Spirit Grax for example. There's a very distinctive line when the public has been announced, and this goes for any item. If the line points up at this sharpest angle on the graph, you know the merchant clan has announced it to the public. So if I zoom in here, you can see exactly when it was announced. And if I move up the line, you'll see here a horizontal line. I'll just take this opportunity to explain what this is. This horizontal line is a simple Grand Exchange glitch, and if an item rises by 100%, there's some mechanic which makes the item rise by 0% that day. It could be a method of Jagex trying to stop price manipulation, or it could be just a glitch, I'm not sure. But sometimes this glitch can spook some merch clans into dumping early as they think the item is crashing, but in this merchant, Spirit Grax weren't affected. As you can see, this sharp line begins to become less steep at the top, and this indicates that less people are buying the item. Now depending on how organised the merchant clan is, the leaders and ranks will sometimes all sell their items at once. And this could mean either the line would be slightly above horizontal or slightly below horizontal, depending on what price the leaders sell at. In this example of rune knives, the line is slightly below horizontal, and this should not be confused with the horizontal line graph glitch I was explaining earlier, since the horizontal line glitch is perfectly straight, whereas this is slightly angled. Part 3 of this guide is buying with a clan. Now let's take a step back. Now guessing the item before it's actually announced to the clan is a very lucky occasion, and most of the time you will actually have to wait until the leader actually announces the item. And when he does, it's very unlikely you'll get any of the item. There are however some tips while buying. If you're buying yew seeds for example, if you put one offer for 10k yew seeds, the Grand Exchange will realise this is a price manipulation and be reluctant to sell you any seeds. If you put an offer in for say 100 yew seeds in each Grand Exchange box, the Grand Exchange will sell you seeds in each box. However, the Grand Exchange limits will still apply for this, so you will still only be able to buy say 5k grack pouches every 4 hours. However, when you're merging with a clan, there are so many people buying it that you won't be able to get anywhere near that much, so it'll be a much better idea to just put, say, 100 in each box. There's also another trick to buying items. Right after the Grand Exchange updates, there's a new maximum price, and if you're one of the first people to put in your offers, it makes you one of the first in the queue to get the items. So if anyone sells any of that item, it will most likely be selling to you. There's no way to predict when the Grand Exchange will update since it's random every 4 to 26 hours. However, when it does update, it usually updates all the items in Runescape within about 10 minutes. You can see a Grand Exchange update by the message in game. This message means that the actual Grand Exchange has updated, but the graphs on the Grand Exchange database will take a little longer to update the graphs. You can tell when it's currently updating from this message on the Grand Exchange database, so when you see this message you should check your offers immediately. As a rough guide, the Grand Exchange will usually update once per day. However, on the rare occasion the Grand Exchange may not update at all in one day. And I was actually quite reluctant to put this tip in this guide because it's helped me so much, but I decided to put it in anyway. But on the days the Grand Exchange doesn't update at all, there's a very high chance that it will update twice the next day. So when merching an item, when the Grand Exchange updates, this gives you a perfect opportunity to get in first with your offers. And usually only within a few hours later the Grand Exchange will update again. And the majority of people won't really realise this, so if you update your offers straight away again, you will be one of the only ones currently buying at that price, giving you a great advantage. Part 4 is dump prices. Most clans set a dump price which is a goal of what the item will reach, and a new common trend for most clans is to set the dump price ridiculously high. This will therefore trick players and in some cases scamming people into thinking the item will actually reach that high, and this is actually a mean trick used to con players into not selling their items and holding them for longer. But this will mean that the item will rise for longer, giving the leaders more profit. It will always depend on the clan, but I always recommend you watch a few of the clan's merchants before you actually buy of them. By watching first, you can see the buying power of the clan and how early the leaders dump. With some clans you set a ridiculously high goal price and you can sell the item at half the dump price. With other clans you need to watch the line graph every day to just see any minor changes. If you have enough of the item, a clever trick to play is to sell one of the item each day at the maximum price. If the item sells instantly at maximum price, you know it's still rising. However, be careful, there's a Grand Exchange rule in which if you buy, for example, 1 sapphire, you will have to wait another 4 hours before the Grand Exchange will let you sell another sapphire. So even if there are lots of people buying sapphires, it's just a rule made by the Grand Exchange to stop price manipulation. And there will be people who think the item is crashing when in fact they just have to wait the 4 hours before the Grand Exchange will allow them to sell it. With merchant clans, it's incredibly important to play it safe, and it's very easy to get greedy and think, oh, I'll keep the item for a few more days and then sell it for even more. But I have learned the hard way on many occasions how dangerous it is to wait just one more day to sell an item. If you're early to sell your items, you can sell them at maximum price if the clan is still buying them, and this will give you a lot of profit. The last part of this guide is part 5, dumping. Missing the dump is a horrible feeling, and there's just so many people selling that there isn't really much point in trying to sell your item on the Grand Exchange. You can try to swap your items for another player's items, such as buying a whip, but most people are aware of the dumped items and will want you to buy junk along with their item to make up the lost cost. There's also the risk of Jagex updates. If you're merching an item which is linked to combat, any change Jagex makes to PvP can hugely affect your merchant. It can cause you to be stuck with items which are drastically dropping, and I've been stuck with obby shields after the PvP drop changes, and after so many people started getting obby shields as drops, I wasn't able to sell any and they crashed really badly and I managed to lose around 30 mil. If you're an extremely patient person, you can actually hold on to your item until it has finished crashing, and the items will nearly always rise after the dump, so use this to your advantage to sell the items after. Now let's take Wines of Zamorak as an example. As you can see, on 2 occasions it has been merchant by a clan. Now if you missed the dump on the first time, you can simply hold your wines until they rise a little more after, or if you're really lucky like what happened here, if another clan decides to buy them up. So just remember, when merging with a clan, it can be really unpredictable, so try to play it safe. I hope this guide helped you, so thanks for watching.